Welcome to National Rental and Listings New Hire and Training. Now we're going to go over a little bit of information here for the work from home and the office crews so that you guys can get an idea of what's expected of you and what you're going to need to do here in order to work for us. So first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to welcome you to the company and welcome you to the team. My name is Paul. Odds are we've spoke on Facebook, on Skype, or on a cell phone when I did the interview process and the hiring process. Most likely we talked and got to know one another and asked a couple of questions about the company and whether or not you're going to be a good fit. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to cover a few major points. Step one, we're going to cover Skype. Skype is incredibly important to this company because it allows for greater efficiency between customer service reps at each department, management, and each other. We like to make Skype groups for everybody in each department so that you guys can communicate with one another in case there's a problem, rather than shutting down your computer, getting off the dialer, having to pull out your cell phone or something like that. Skype makes it a lot easier because we can communicate with each other and the customer has no idea that we're doing it. So for instance, say you need to get a hold of your manager. Instead of you having to text your manager or call your manager, especially if you're in the work from home crew, you can still stay on the line with a customer, and then you can send a Skype message over to your manager and say, hey, I have a question. A customer brought up to me. What do I do in this situation? As far as dealing with the downtime, all you have to do with the customer is just tell them, hey, do you mind if I put you on a brief hold real fast? Now let me get this taken care of. Place your headphone or your headset on mute so that they cannot hear you, and go ahead and make a Skype statement out and say, hey, how do I handle this particular situation? Your manager will see it on his Skype communication, and he can relay that information back to you so that you can help make a better decision or inform the customer better. Likewise, if you have questions about work or paychecks, anything that you might be wondering, you could also Skype over to management, and we'd be glad to take care of that for you. With step two, there's creating a Gmail account. Now, we all email out of a Gmail account, so once we get Skype taken care of, we're going to give you an ID number. Now, that ID number is going to become your Gmail account. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a Gmail account with the moniker ultimaterto@gmail.com. Now, that's because of the Ultimate Rental and Home program that we have, and we need to have that consistency for our clients. Most clients, they want to see that uniform, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to make a uniform Gmail account for your position with us. It's really super easy and simple. So when we get to that, we'll give you an employee ID number. Your employee ID number may be something like 112.ultimaterto@gmail.com. That's an example email account. So when we're talking to you on Skype and we're going over how to get everything finalized, we'll give you an ID number, and that'll be the ID number that you put in when you create your Gmail account. Once the Gmail account is done, then we'll go ahead and we'll send you over templates for your drafts that you'll be sending over to the clients based on your department and what you're going to be handling. For instance, a customer service rep on day one, they're going to be sending information over for our Premier Credit Services or other credit-related programs for the customer, because the first time the customer's ever heard of us, they filled out our form on Facebook. We're following up with them to make sure that we can stay on top of things, and we'll make sure they get the right information. Our day two department, they're going to be contacting clients that have already been through the day one process, so we're going to be trying to find out exactly where they are in the program, and we're going to go ahead and get them signed up for our coaching program to fast track everything. The fast track program is very super easy and simple, and it's all completely automated once we get them signed up. It's only $1 to get started and $20 a month after that, for as long as they're needed. Our typical length of time is about 30 to 60 days. Our longest period of time is up to 120 days. Some super rare instances may go up to a year, but it's rarely unheard of. It all just depends on the customer and what their current situation is. So we want to make sure that everything's tailored to them. But likewise, like I was saying, day two is very, very important and crucial. So if you were hired for day two, we want to welcome you to the team. We want to give you a strong pat on the back and a firm handshake, and make sure that you understand that your role is vital to this company, because you're what helps keep the customer connected and gets them into the home. You're the final step between them and their house. So we definitely want to make sure that we're focused on the customer and doing a good job. Now with step three, we're going to go ahead and cover dialer training. We're going to show you guys how the dialer works. Once you have your Gmail account ready, we can go ahead and send the invite over to your Gmail. for the dialer, and that'll allow you to get over to the dialer and go over the training and familiarize yourself with it. We'll cover it as best as we can in this video. However, the easiest way to learn anything is obviously hands-on, so that'll be super easy for you. Obviously, with dialer training, it should go without saying that we will be monitoring it extremely, very, very heavily if you're a work-from-home member, to make sure that you're not writing the pause button. A lot of people, when they've never worked a call center, they'll place themselves on pause, they'll go get a drink, get something to eat, they'll microwave something, and they don't realize that when they're on pause, they're still using company resources. They're not being productive, and like any situation, it would be the same thing as if you just moved your chair out of your seat, got up and you started randomly walking around, or went to the break room when you weren't supposed to be. It's the same equivalent, which obviously is not going to fly. When we catch that, we have a very strict policy on how time is to be used, and if somebody can't adhere to that, they will be pointed and eventually terminated. It's just the way it works. If you're somebody who can manage time very, very well and communicate with your manager, then we're not going to have any issues. You may even see promotions. We try to do a review every 90 days, and we give you a raise based on performance. So if you're looking to be with a company for a long time and to have good benefits and bonus structures and raises on regular periods, then this is the job for you. With step 4, we're going to go ahead and get to your schedule. So what you'll do on step 4, once you're done with your dialer training, you'll let the manager know via Skype that you are done with the dialer training, and we'll go ahead and we'll assign you your schedule. We'll do some test calls, we'll grade the quality of your calls, and we'll get you working. We're looking to hire as many as 40 people to fill the department. We're looking to be able to make sure that we have consistent calls being made to our clients, that we're able to sign them up and follow up with them, that everybody is courteous, that they can be understood very clearly on the phones, and that the customer is getting what they need and paid for, because we're trying to help people get into homes who have never owned a home before and make sure that they're getting the right information at the right times and that we're not overdoing it. So we definitely want to make sure that we're getting a hold of them and getting everything done. And I know a lot of you guys are anxious and eager to get to work, so let's go ahead and get on with the next step here. Let's go ahead and cover Skype. Alrighty. Now, if you go to Skype.com, you're going to go ahead and you're going to see a page that looks like this. If you've never used Skype before, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come up here and click Download Skype. And that's going to show us, this page here. And it's going to tell us, it highlights computer because I'm using my computer. It's going to tell us, do I want to download to the computer, to mobile, to tablet, to Xbox, to wearables, to TV, and it tells me Skype for Windows. It recognizes that I have Windows, so it gives me this button here so I can download Skype. Now, once what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that button to download Skype, and it's going to bring up the window here. It says start using your shiny new Skype. Thanks for downloading. Down here in this little corner, it's going to go ahead and do the download for me. Once I get it done, it's going to bring up the quick start here. So it's going to bring up a little pop-up that looks like this. Here's the steps 1, 2, and 3. It's very, very simple. And then it goes ahead and it covers, if I was on mobile or tablet. But we want it on your laptop or your desktop computer because that's one of the prerequisites for this job, was that you had to have a laptop or a desktop computer. If you don't have one of those, let us know when you can have one, and we'll go ahead and pick up from there so we can go ahead and get you working. There's no shortages. We're growing extremely fast. The real estate market is doing very, very well today, and it's something that we're going to be doing is growing exponentially. Our goal in the next year is to have 150 to 200 people working for us. So it's not like there isn't going to be a job tomorrow. So if you don't have a laptop or a desktop computer, there's no harm, no foul. Now, once you get Skype done, you'll simply follow through the prompts. It's really super easy. You'll click Next, create a screen name for yourself. It's very helpful if it's your first name and your last name, or some variation, first name with a last name initial. Some sort of variation so that we recognize who it is. When you get that done, you're going to go ahead and send me a Skype message. Now, when you go ahead and send me a Skype message, you're going to send it over to my personal Skype. Now, when you do that, you're going to type in Paul, P-A-U-L, dot, C-A-P-E, and the number 2. So it should look like this. All right. Now, this is my Skype here, so we can see it. There's my name, Paul Cape, and there's my Skype name, Paul.cape, the number 2. So once I get a Skype contact from you, I'll accept it, and then we can move forward with the next step, which is creating a Gmail account. Now, like I said, your Gmail account could be something like 112.ultimaterto@gmail.com. So when we go to type that in, I'll show you step by step how to create that. So if you're at this point or you can just pause the video so you can do Skype, and then once you get caught up, we'll go back and we'll do this. So any way you look at it, once we get to this point here, I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's go ahead and get a Gmail account created. So what we're going to do is click Create Account. That's going to bring us over here. Now here we're going to put our name in and our username and all this information here. So with our first name, we're going to go ahead and choose something, which is our first name and our last name. For argument's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and type in John Doe. You would type in your first and last name so we can recognize you, and so that customers see your name and it makes them feel very comfortable. Now we're going to do 500.ultimaterto@gmail.com. Now you need that ultimate RTO. Now again, you're going to get this ID number from your manager. You're going to get it from me. So you want to send me that message over so I get that taken care of for you. So now under create a password, we're going to go ahead and create a password. We're going to fill out the birthday, the month, day, and the year, choose our gender, and then we're going to go ahead and attach a mobile phone. Our current email address is just an alternative email address that we can use, and then we're going to click the next step. Now when we click the next step, it's going to bring up this little privacy and terms of agreement that we need to agree to. So we'll click the I agree button. And that tells us, welcome, your new email address is created. Thanks for creating a Google account. Use it to subscribe to channels on YouTube, chat for video for free, save places on maps, and lots more. So we're going to continue to Gmail. And this is where it's going to get really fun, because now we have the Gmail account open. So you have your employee ID in there. So now we can get to come through here, and now we have a very blank email address here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send you over the emails, and they're going to appear in your drafts folder. And I'm going to show you how to get them out of your drafts folder and make them viable for the client. Alrighty, so I went ahead and I got the email sent over to me. So we have Let's Get You Qualified, Let's Get Down Payment Assistance, and Find a Lender that works for you. Now the first one that we're sending out is Let's Get You Qualified. This is how you guys are going to sign people up for our program. Now when you have them on the phone and you're going through the script, you're going to bring up this email in your email account, and you're going to send it over to the client and let them know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you an email with my contact information in it. That way you have that on hand in case you have any questions or concerns. Boom, you send this email out to them. Then you're going to let them know, can you check your email at this time? If the answer is yes, okay, great. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through here and click on the green button that says click here to get the details. And you're going to go through and you're going to sign them up. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. There's also things down here for them if they need other links. What you want to do is you want to make sure, send me a Skype message, and we'll go over these links to make sure that these all have the right information in them, which they should, but we want to make sure 100% that everything is exactly the way it needs to be. Now when we're setting up a new draft email to send out to clients, you want to click Compose, and that's going to bring up a blank one, and then we're going to grab from this corner right here, we're going to hold the mouse down, and we're going to scroll all the way down to highlight everything just in this email box. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy it, bring it over here, and paste it. And you see everything pulls right on over exactly as it is. Now you notice it says Paul Cape. It's got my name in there. So now what we want to do is get that changed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight Let's Get You Qualified. I'm going to bring that over for the subject. Now, open up the email so we can get a good look at it. Now we're going to get a good look at this, and everything in here is completely fine, except right down here at the bottom has my name. Now what we're going to do is click on this and change it to your name. So here we're going to write, whatever your name is. That way it's in there. And then it's going to say mortgage advisor, which is fine. You're advising on a mortgage. That's your position with National Rental Listings to make sure there's no confusion whatsoever. Our web address is right here. That way the client has that. Our phone number is right here. It always turns blue. Don't ask me why. It's just some sort of link that pulls up in case they want you to Skype and call us, I assume. And then our web address is down here at the bottom again. So it's really easy to change that information for your name. And of course, it reminds them we're an accredited business, A+ with a Better Business Bureau. And then it's going to go ahead and it's going to cover everything they need. Let's Get You Qualified. Super easy. So now that's one draft that we have. And when it comes time to making extra drafts, all we do is click anywhere on here, Control A, Control C, Control V. brings over John Doe. All the links come with it. Everything is exactly the way it needs to be. So all the links are there. And then we just copy and paste. And what that does, that gives us 2 drafts. So we go over to drafts. There's Let's Get You Qualified. So when we have a customer on the line, all we have to do is click there, brings it up. And then we go ahead and type in the customer email based on the information provided in the dialer. Couldn't be easier. So we're going to go over to our inbox. There's the down payment assistance that the customer is going to need. We're going to grab the corner, bring it on down, Control C, Control V, down here. We're going to type in your name, and that's it. Everything else is 100% the same. Grab the Let's Get Down Payment Assistance, put that in the subject header, and we're done. We need to do more. We can click on anything in this email and then hit Control A, Control C to copy it. Bring it over here, Control V, comes over exactly as we had it. It's super easy. So now we have those. Now you see our drafts are getting bigger. So now we come over here and grab the lender. That's the last step for the customer. We're going to go ahead and grab right here. Because they were fast tracked, we want to make sure we have that fast track logo on there. Down at the bottom, you're going to remove my name. We're going to write whatever name your name is in that spot. That way everything is uniform. Super easy. At the top, we're just going to write, let's find a lender that gets you. There we go. So find a lender that works for you. That way we go ahead and have that in there. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that we have that information in there. We want to make sure that it looks pretty good. You know, we want to have the right information in there for the customer because we want to make sure that they know they're being fast-tracked. They're on their way. You know, it's something that we're not wanting to take a lot of time with. We want to make sure we get them there. So it's super, super easy. So like I said, at this point, there's not a whole lot left for us to do. You're almost at the point where we can get you working. Alrighty, so when we're going over the dialer, it's really super easy. I'm going to click Invite Agent. That's going to bring up the prompt. And like I said, this is stuff that we're going to do while we're on Skype. I'm going to type in your agent number right here, which is your Gmail account. That's going to send you the invite. So if I'm going to invite, say, 500.ultimaterto@gmail.com, I'm going to click Send Invite. Agent invited. Perfect. Now over here, we can see that we've been invited to join Angel Credit Repair's Cloud Call Center. Angel Credit Repair is our parent company, like we've mentioned many times before. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Now the dialer is going to tell me I've been invited to join the call center. So we're going to go ahead and click Get Started. That's going to open up our tab here and bring us over. So it's going to say Create Your Account. This is where it's super easy, but we're going to have one additional step because we have a USB headset and we need to be able to communicate with our clients. This dialer needs to be able to call a phone and have us answer it. So we're going to go ahead and type in our name, John Doe, and then our phone number is going to be our Google Voice number. So what we're going to want to do is, because we have our email account over here, our Gmail, is we're going to go up and we're going to type in voice.google.com. And that's going to take us over so we can set up a Google Voice account. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. So now here it's going to let us know it's only available in the United States. And you're required to verify an existing U.S. phone number, like a cell phone. So we're going to accept the terms, click Proceed. And then it's going to ask us if you want a new number. Now, your phone number, it's going to let us know that we can choose whatever this is. This is for work. So it's going to let us know before we choose one, add a forwarding phone that's going to ring when it's called. So, you know, it's probably a mobile phone. And then you're going to enter your cell phone number in here. And that's going to allow us to set up your Google Voice. Now, down here, it's going to have your Google Voice number. It's really super easy. It's going to ask you what area code you want. It doesn't matter. The customer is never going to see this. It is only for the dialer to be able to call so that you can accept the call. I'll go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like once it's completely done. Alrighty, now this is my Google Voice account, which as you can see, I get text messages, I get voicemails. Customers get a hold of me all the time, letting me know. You know, and they say, hey, I'm looking to get a hold of somebody. I need to get I want to buy a home. I need one of your agents to give me a call. One of the reasons for the urgency. Told you we're expanding very quickly. And like I said, here's the number that I got set up with my account. So there's the number. So basically what happens is when I go to get everything set up within the dialing system, that's a number that it's going to call. A little pop-up's going to come up in my email. It's going to let me know that there's an incoming call coming. And when I accept it, then that's going to put me in dialer. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys what happens when you go ahead and you choose your campaign and you try to dial in for the first time. So when you go to dial into your account, you're going to click this Join Campaign button here. So you're going to click that, and over in your email you're going to hear that ringing, and we're going to see this phone number dialing. Now we're going to click the Answer Call. There we go. So now when we switch back over to the dialer, it says Begin Dialing. Now if we don't hear that information, if we don't hear that click Begin Dialing, then we're not live. Like right now you can hear it in the background. You hear that classical music. That lets you know that you're on the dialer, you're live. When you're ready, you want to click Begin Dialing. Now the customer's information is going to populate right here, and here's your script. So you can scroll down and see your script exactly how it should be. All you got to do is follow the script. Down here it lets you know the phone number for your Google Voice, your name, and then it's going to tell you how many calls you've done and how long you've been in session. And like you said, it's 52 seconds. It's still going, so it's got me recorded. Of course, I can change my settings down here. So if I want to change my music or anything like that, I can certainly do that. Here's my music for my hold time. I can change that, but it doesn't matter. We don't want to really worry about that. It's not a big deal. So the most important thing is that we're going to click Begin Dialing. And even with Begin Dialing, if we connect with somebody, even if we were to connect to somebody and that person were, say, a voicemail, we're just going to click the X button and we're going to move on to the next person. You want to keep the dialer rolling. We want to keep it moving along so that we're getting to the next person, the next person, the next person. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and listen to classical music all day, and you will point out, you will be terminated for that. It is not something that's tolerated. In any kind of business that I've ever worked in, I've never seen somebody say, just stand there and do nothing, it's fine. So we want you clicking the button so that we're dialing every single voicemail. Every single time you get off the phone with a client, you want to click that button and you'll see new information populate. If it doesn't, get a hold of me on Skype. Let me know what's going on. On Skype, the great thing about Skype is you can click the print screen button on your keyboard. It'll take a picture of this entire screen. So everything on your entire screen it'll take a picture of. And then you can simply go over to Skype and hit Control V, which is paste, and then it'll paste it into the conversation, and then I can see that in my message, so then I can see everything that you're looking at, and you can say, hey Paul, this is a technical issue, I need some help with it, and I'd be glad to walk you through it. So now that explains the dialer, and the next step is just getting your schedule. I'm going to let you do a couple of calls. We're going to go ahead and see how you do. We're going to go over your calls. I'm going to listen to each one. And we're going to find out, where can you improve? And at the end of every shift, I'm going to review a couple of your calls. We're going to pick out some of your longest ones. And we're going to see what your strong points are, what your weak points are. That way we can make sure that you're comfortable on the phone and that everything's moving along the way it needs to. By far, the easiest part about this job is the fact that you get to work at home and you have that convenience. Now, you do want to make sure that you have a quiet environment. You can have a fan. I know most of you may or may not hear the fan that I have running. It's pretty quiet. I don't set it on high, I just have it on low. And that helps keep the air moving around me and helps me from overheating while I'm sitting in a chair, because it does get a little hot in my house. If I were just to move around or sit on the couch, it'd be fine. But sitting in a chair for some reason, I feel better having a fan on me. So that's not a problem as long as there's no background noise. You don't want to hear music or anything that would sound unprofessional, because I'm going to screen your calls and make sure that we don't hear that. You don't want to eat any food. You don't want to drink any drink. You can have a drink, and then what you do is, if you need a drink, take your hand and cover your microphone. Take a drink so that they're not hearing you swallow. The microphones are usually pretty sensitive, so they'll pick up on that. So we want to make sure that if we're coughing or anything like that, we're saying, oh, excuse me, or hey, I'm sorry about that, to the customer. That way they don't feel like we're just coughing and hacking on the phone. There are things that happen when you're talking. When you talk a long time on a phone, your voice will get scratchy. It'll take you a little time to get used to it. It's pretty simple. You could always make some tea or orange juice or something to help keep saliva moving and everything, keep your throat moist. That way you don't have that problem. So all in all, that's it. That's training in a nutshell. It's about 24 minutes long. So I'm glad that if you made it to this point that we were able to get through it. If you have any questions at all, get hold of me on Skype, and I'd be glad to help you and make sure that we can get you started. So the next step is just getting your schedule, and then you're on your own. And after that, it's just working and making money. So welcome to the team.